Hi, this is Vrinda. A judge has been transferred in this country. This is his third transfer in 2 years, and it has raised questions about the integrity of the relationship between India's judiciary on the one hand and the government. If you are someone who cares for the independence of the court and its judges, then you should be worried about what is happening. In early August, Justice Atul Sreedharan of the Madhya Pradesh High Court was recommended to be transferred to the Chhattisgarh High Court. But strangely, within just a month of that recommendation, the collegium of the Supreme Court went against its own recommendation and instead suggested that he should be transferred to the Allahabad High Court. The collegium openly noted in its letter that this was done after the government sought a reconsideration of his transfer to Chhattisgarh, and that he was now being transferred after the government's reconsideration and the Supreme Court collegium's rethinking over the past order to the Allahabad High Court. So far, no reason has been given as to why the government sought this reconsideration and why the collegium agreed. We will come to the question of why this is a particularly curious and worrisome decision. But before we move ahead, it would be good to take a look at the career that Justice Atul Sreedharan has had. That in itself would probably might shed some light over why he is being shunted around various courts in these last few years. Following his daughter's commencement of legal practice in 2023, he requested that he should be transferred out of the Madhya Pradesh High Court to avoid any conflict of interest. This was done to great praise of the judge, and he was sent to Jammu Kashmir High Court. While at the Jammu and Kashmir High Court, he passed many orders that went against the ruling ideology of the government, which criticized government officials and also took action against the misuse of draconian laws by government agencies and officials. He repeatedly struck down detentions under the stringent Public Safety Act, the PSA, and headed a bench that granted bail to the editor of the Kashmir Wala magazine after 21 months of incarceration. He was set to become the Chief Justice of the Jammu and Kashmir High Court, but within just a month left for his elevation as Chief Justice, he was transferred back again to the Madhya Pradesh High Court. That transfer itself had raised quite a few questions, and it was clear that that his Chief Justiceship had been taken away right at the last minute. At the Madhya Pradesh High Court now, Justice Atul Sreedharan continued to work the way he had always done. His videos are often go viral on social media. You can look him up on YouTube and you can find recordings of his hearings which are available for all to see. Following Operation Sindoor, Vijay Shah, a sitting minister of the Madhya Pradesh cabinet, made some derogatory remarks against Colonel Sophia Qureshi because of her religious identity. The comments really do not merit a repetition here, but Justice Atul Sreedharan took suo motu cognizance of the matter and ordered an FIR to be lodged against the minister. The Supreme Court later stepped in and stayed the proceedings and allowed the minister to get off with just an apology. Justice Atul Sreedharan was also part of the High Court bench which registered a suo motu case on COVID mismanagement in the state of Madhya Pradesh and made the state government accountable for its inactions. These are some of the cases that make his latest transfer even more provocative and worrisome. Justice Atul Sreedharan was one of the foremost and senior-most judges at the Madhya Pradesh High Court. He was part of the collegium of the High Court, which meant that he had an administrative say in the matters of the court. He could recommend the transfer and appointment of various judges of the court. Thus, he had an active say in the judicial functioning of the High Court of Madhya Pradesh. In August of 2025, he was recommended to be transferred to the Chhattisgarh High Court, where he would again have been part of the collegium and would be in line probably to be the Chief Justice of that High Court. Instead, he was sent to the Allahabad High Court, where he will now rank 7th in seniority. Now he will not be a part of the collegium. This is why his transfer to the Allahabad High Court particularly is being seen as a calculated move. Was it really done to prevent an upright judge from becoming part of the collegium for taking away his administrative voice? Was it done so that he does not become the Chief Justice? Is he being punished for taking actions which do not toe the government line? Is the collegium going to bend to government pressure like this? Should it not worry everyone in this country? More so because this is not the first time that judges who have been seen as outspoken, honest and upright in their actions have faced the brunt of transfers and obstructions to judicial promotions. We have seen this in the case of the former Chief Justice of Odisha, Justice S. Muralidhar, who was transferred out of the Delhi High Court as soon as he took suo motu cognizance of the hate speech made by BJP leaders in the aftermath, not really the aftermath, actually prior to the Delhi riots. We have also seen this in the case of Justice Atul Sreedharan, a senior judge of the Gujarat High Court who had presided over many sensitive cases and had ordered the police custody of the then Gujarat Home Minister and current Home Minister of the country, Mr. Amit Shah. When the collegium suggested that Justice Atul Qureshi should be made the Chief Justice of the Madhya Pradesh High Court, the union government refused to approve the appointment for months. Eventually, the collegium made him the Chief Justice of the Tripura High Court. The Supreme Court's procedures for appointment of judges have been regularly questioned over issues of transparency and accountability. Even ministers of the government have raised questions about the way in which judicial appointments are conducted. Yet it seems that the government is quite comfortable with the ways in which appointments are being conducted at the current moment. It can intervene in cases when it deems fit to do so, and the collegium makes concessions without even giving any reasons. Would you want your courts to be filled with judges who are aligned with the ideology of the party in rule, or do you want them to be independent? Do you wish to see your judges be fearful of adverse action by the collegium, or do you wish to have a system that is accountable to the country in the ways in which it conducts itself? Because this is not just about one judge. It is actually never about one individual. It is not about one judge or one activist or one journalist or one professor or an opposition leader. It's always about you, your constitution, and your rights. This is Vrinda.